My surname is Rasehwete. It's not an easy surname, even for the native speakers. Not very easy, but it's supposed to be the G to be Rasehwete. You know, Rasehwete in our language is, carrots, fruits. So I'm father of carrots. I am from the South African Mathematics Foundation. Just before I start, I would just like to indicate a few difficulties I always encounter when I have to present. Firstly, in all presentations that have been invited from the department, I've been the last speaker. At the time when people are tired, I'm very anxious to leave. You find that in most cases I have to make sure that I work against time. I'm given only 15 minutes to present my presentation. And again, the second problem that I came across is that I was given what to do to give the statistics for the South African Maths Olympiads. But when I came to the summit, I realized that it's actually more than just the statistics. I had to ruffle around the presentation because there are a lot of things that we need to talk about, or maybe that can be used as advices for the development of learning and teaching mathematics in South Africa, not only in KZN, but in the whole of the country. Can I just go to the next slide? I am from South African Maths Foundation. Firstly, I just want to explain what the company is all about. We have South Africa, AMESA, Association for Mathematics Education in South Africa. Mr. Steck came here to do a presentation. He also gave me a lot of pleasure because he kept on mentioning my name. So people are expecting a lot of things from me. And we have another organization, a professional organization called South African Mathematical Society. This one is from tertiary universities in particular. There are members who are members of mathematics department, pure maths. But AMESA are mathematics educationists at universities. The two organizations came together and formed an organization called South African Mathematics Foundation. So the advantage with this company is that it got access of all professionals in maths education in all South African universities, and have got access to all professionals in mathematics in South Africa because they are members of this organization. So it is only a call from the company to say that we need you to do one or two things. Develop a program, and can be accredited within, and that project will be used. If we need to do a research on something, it's easy to commission either people or individuals to do a research on our behalf. And as a result, the South African Maths Foundation has got stakeholders. I've mentioned different organizations there, or organizations that are stakeholders with the South African Maths Foundation. You can see in the Department of Education, the Department of Science and Innovation, which is actually putting a lot of money into the activities of South African Maths Foundation. NRF, Agency for Science and Technology Advancement, Corporate Engagement, South African Statistical Association, all these people, they form part of the board of the South African Maths Foundation. And the company itself is driven by four thrusts. Before we could do any project, we need to do research on that project. We start with research, and after research, we do advocacy. Can we go back a little bit? And before we do advocacy, there are two thrusts that are very important. We need to do learner development and teacher development. Yes, you can go now to the next slide. We, as South African Maths Foundation, want to make a difference. We thought we have a dream and want to make a difference in teaching and learning of mathematics in South Africa. We want to see ourselves getting involved and, contribute towards improved standard of mathematics teaching and learning. We want to make sure that teachers have confidence as they go into class and they teach, the way they handle the content of the subject itself. We want mathematics to be appreciated. That is one of the big problems, and there's been a lot of talks about that. Mathematics as a subject needs to be appreciated. Once it can be appreciated, it's easy for learners to understand. Teachers to, teachers who appreciate mathematics will automatically instill appreciation into learners. That's what we're trying to do. And we also believe, this is what drives us also, that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. This has been said in many ways today. And I want to emphasize that as we leave this summit today, we must always think about this. Doing one and the same thing over and over and expecting different results will never get us anywhere. So whoever contributes must also think about it. Whatever he's saying or doing, is it the same thing that has never produced results before? Or is this something that will produce good results? Can I have a next slide, please? So I'm going to run quickly through the slides because I want to go to my conclusion, which I feel is more important than the statistics that I'm going to be bringing today. But in short, these are the programs that we run. We try to run projects starting from primary school and trying to emphasize the importance of primary school teaching up to tertiary level. You know, we do have a program, South African Mathematics Challenge. It is a competition, but we don't actually focus on it being a competition. We want to use it as a vehicle to promote mathematics. At high secondary school, we do have South African Maths Olympiads, also a competition. And we have another one at tertiary level with South African Tertiary Mathematics Olympiad. So there's a signage of all these competitions from primary up to high school. One competition answers to the other. And learner who participated at primary level, it's easy for that learner to can participate better at high school. I can tell you with confidence that at this particular moment, we do have learners who were participants in the South African Maths at primary level. They are not doing very well at South African Maths Tertiary Olympiad. This is what we are doing. You know, we had a very big picture of what we wanted to starting at primary school until at the tertiary level, so that learners who pass matric are able to can handle tertiary mathematics content with confidence. That is very important. So we do track these learners from primary school. As an addition to what we are doing, learners who participate in our program, they can be participant in the Pan-African Mathematics Olympiad or International Maths Olympiad. You know, they can go international to participate. And there are some stories that I can picture, but I'm not going to focus on those stories. Can I go to the next slide, please? And just in short, just to explain what these competitions are. As I said, this is South African Maths Challenge, South African Maths Olympiad, and International Maths Olympiad. Initially, I was told to talk about South African Maths Olympiad, but I feel that they are almost the same, all of them. National competition for primary school learners, but it's supposed to be primary and secondary school learners, a competition, national competition. And I can with confidence tell you that this is the biggest competition in South Africa. There are so many mathematics competitions in South Africa, and they don't talk to each other. But this one is the biggest mathematics competition in the country. And present children with opportunity to challenge themselves in terms of answering creative mathematical, which require logic, problem-solving skills. Targets grade 8 to grade 12, that is Mathematics Olympiad. But the primary one, the challenge, targets learners from grade 4 to grade 7, so that the one answers to the other. And includes plus minus, up to 80,200 learners. We are aiming to increase these numbers over the years. We want to see learners, almost every province having more than 50% participation of learners in this, because we need to expose these learners to non-routine mathematical problem-solving skills. If we can see ourselves having touched all the programs, I can confidently tell you that the biggest provinces that participate, the first one is Western Cape, and next Western Cape is KZN at this present moment. And we need to have a bigger program. We have included teacher problem solving. I'm going to take some time and talk about the teacher component. Why do we have to participate? We have said that we need to give learners the opportunity to engage in non-routine mathematical problems, which are very important, part of learning mathematics, and are really neglected and are not given little attention. Not because we don't want to give attention. We have learned that many teachers actually do not or are not able to handle that content. It's very difficult for the teachers. So as a result, we thought that we should engage learners and at the same time provide some support for the teachers at the same time. We need to develop academically strong child with an opportunity to grow and become independent creative thinkers. And we also want to identify talent. There are a lot of talented learners around in the country, and we are able to identify those areas. We have identified a lot of talent. The blue one here is a link to the YouTube. When you engage with the presentation, just go to this YouTube. This is one of the beautiful stories that we have created at South African Maths Foundation. It's a learner who started at primary school level doing South African Maths Challenge, went to South African Maths Olympiad and became the best learner, actually represented South Africa in Russia for South African Maths Olympiad. This boy was from Rasehwete, and there's a school called Horizon International. When he was doing grade 8, they gave him bursary. They just snatched him from his school and gave him bursary, and he did wonders. How incredible! Why? Our competitions, the way they are so recognized, a lot of schools are using them to showcase their school. You know, you go to, especially private schools, they'll go and put the South African Maths Challenge and say, we are doing it at our school, so let your learner come to our school. But actually, all schools in the country are supposed to be doing it. So, next slide, please. Yeah, these are the statistics which I'm not going to focus more on. That is the participation of learners, specifically for KZN. I tried to project school from 2018, how they participated, and you can see that the independent and the quintile high schools actually are strong in participation because they've seen the value. Most of them are able to can pay for the learners and drive the program and put that program as part of their curriculum. What if we take this and put it in our quintile 1 and quintile 1, 2, 3 schools and put it and host it in those schools, make sure that we support the teachers at that particular schools. We are going to make a lot of difference. Even down there, the last table, it shows qualification of learners. You know, we have 3 rounds in these competitions. First round, second, and the third round, depending on how learners participate. You can see that quintile 1s are not doing very well in terms of learners who qualify to round 2. But quintile 4, quintile 5, and you know, the independent schools are doing very well at that level. And this is a lesson that we can use to say that these schools actually are hosting this program and are making use of it. And this is when you find learners are performing so well. Next slide, please. I tried to project participation in terms of gender. Female learners have been participating more than over a period of time. You can find, which is a very wonderful thing. But before we could get excited, you know, when you go to other rounds, you still have a challenge of performance. Gender, you know, males do perform better than females, but the participation is really encouraging. Next slide, please. As I indicated earlier on, that KZN is one of the provinces that have a lot of performance. This is because the MST department has taken charge to make sure that schools participate. You know, in 2018, we had close to 164 schools. Actually, the number was very small. In 2019, we have 260 learners, schools that participated. But 2020 and 2021, there was a problem. And this year, this year I didn't project 2023, I don't know why I didn't, but because we were still working on the statistics. I can tell you, I saw this morning that the numbers were closer to 200 schools that are participating in the challenge. You know, the numbers now are coming back. And the MST department is paying for the learner to participate. It's not only about that. Can I have next slide, please? And the most important component I wanted to talk about is teacher training that we are doing for teachers. Some have provided a hands-on training of teachers by exposing them to a variety of mathematical problem solving strategies and techniques. It is expected that this training will enhance the problem-solving skills of teachers and also improve their skills of solving non-routine mathematical problems, which is a problem that has been identified. So we focus, we take problem solving, we zoom into it, and expose teachers to different strategies of problem solving skills. Teachers who undergo through the course develop better understanding of mathematical concepts and appreciate the beauty of mathematics. Specifically, teachers will go through a range of problem solving skills that includes, among others, read and understand the question. You know, that is a very big problem. Draw a figure if you don't know how to solve a problem. That is called as strategies. Look for a pattern. Introduce appropriate notation where possible. Use logical argument. You can also use game and puzzles to try and promote problem-solving strategies. Teachers who pass this course receive competency certificates from South African Maths Foundation, and in addition to that, they do get 20 CPD points, that is continuous professional development point, from South African Council of Educators. Next slide, please. And these are recently trained teachers. Can you go to the next slide before I go to this one? Yes, I want to go to this slide. The course levels that we offer at South African Maths Foundation, we have a course for primary school teachers. I want to just pause a little and talk about this. You know, South Africa has got a dire need for support of primary school teachers. You won't believe me, once we open the course to teachers, how many teachers need to enroll this course. But, you know, because we depend mostly on sponsorship, we find that we can only offer limited training of teachers. That is a problem-solving course for grade 4 to grade 7. It has been improved. It used to be 2 weeks course, a short course, but we have improved it to 6 weeks course. Teachers can attend online for 6 weeks. They go through problem strategies, they get an assignment, they write a test, you know, they review, they get engaged with facilitators. Through AMESA, we have developed a pool of facilitators who have been trained, received intensive training. Mr. Skanyile is one of the facilitators, national facilitators. He's a high school subject advisor, but he opted to go down to primary school. So he's able to get handle content for primary and secondary school. And that's what we actually promote. So that if you are at primary level, you are even able to understand what is happening at primary and be able to pull some signage into secondary school and see what the problems are and how you can handle those two problems. South African Maths Foundation has collaborated with stakeholders to provide intensive and accessible course. The Institute, the African Institute for Medical Sciences Management Center, IMSEC, they provide intensive training in content and mathematics for understanding. We have collaborated also with Nelson Mandela, problem solving. They do it face to face, but they use the content that we have developed. Limina is our online partner. They take our content and put it in their online, and they can present it to teachers. AMESA, as indicated, they are professionals for different institutions and they develop content. AMESA and the South African Mathematical Society, they develop content for problem solving. Once the courses are commissioned now, we invite. Teachers do not pay. We try to find funding for teachers, and they do not pay for our courses. They do courses free of charge. But as I said, it is very costly. We normally go out and talk to departments of education. If they can, they could assist by requesting teachers to be trained for a fee. Now we can go through the statistics. I think I'm getting through. Yeah. Last year only, South African Maths Foundation, that is in 2021, we had 40 primary teachers and 35. These teachers were intensively trained by IMSEC. And in 2022, at Nelson Mandela, we have 97 primary and 97 secondary school teachers from the same age. And countrywide online, using Limina, we had 500 teachers, primary school teachers, and 42 secondary school teachers. So in total, we trained 637 teachers and 174 teachers. All teachers were trained free of charge. And they received competency certificates and they were enrolled to get CPD points with South African Council of Educators. The next step is to follow all these teachers. They register learners. We have been doing that this year. They register learners for the South African Maths Challenge for primary school. And those that are from secondary, they register learners for South African Maths Olympiads. We are following teachers and see whether what they have learned has got impact in whatever that teaching is school. Whether it's going to be different in the performance in the curriculum mathematics or in the Olympiad mathematics. Next slide, please. We have learned a few lessons. You know, in 2018, we sent on the South African Maths Challenge for independent evaluation. We have been running a competition for years and years and years. But we wanted to see if this competition is actually making impact in the education system as it is. So it was sent for independent evaluation. And there were some lessons that we learned from that. The first lesson was that the performance of learners in SAMO, that is not only SAMO, but the South African Maths Olympiad and the South African Maths Challenge, should be viewed in context of the larger South African educational challenge. The results from lower quintiles schools do show correlation between repeat participation and exposure to non-routine mathematical problems and improved problem-solving ability. What it means is that, you know, the biggest problem that we have is that there is no exposure. They're not going to get exposure. And you find that lower quintiles, quintile 1 and 2, because they are not exposed, they don't perform. Or you cannot even see their performance. So you first have to expose them, number one. Number two, don't just expose them, get them to participate regularly. Then it's then that you're going to see performance. Now for the first time, you find that the questions are different, the situation is completely different. But after some time, when learners are performing over a regular period, then that you can find a difference. For improved performance in Olympiad, the regular participation is necessary. Involvement of learners at primary school level is vital. So to be able to involve learners as a lesson is that we need to start engaging learners at primary level. We should not be putting pressure at high school. Starting at grade 8 is very late. That's a lesson that we have learned. And I'm emphasizing it. Starting at grade 8 is very, very late. We need to start at primary level and get learners involved. You know, the aim is to minimize misconceptions. We have found that there are a lot of misconceptions. You know, once the Olympiad has been written, once you go and train teachers, you find that there are lots of misconceptions. And it is said that some teachers, it doesn't matter whether they teach good content, but once they teach wrongly, they are able to teach wrong things very effectively. And that's a cycle that we need to break. You know, someone will have a wrong concept at primary school level. That concept will continue from primary level, go to secondary level, and that concept is wrong, is going to be taught so effectively. So we need to break the cycle while it's still in, by starting at primary school level. So you go to high school, you find that misconceptions that are there have started at primary school level. And no one ever had a chance to break those misconceptions. We need to create, you know, learners who have interests and who are curious. We need to teach them to be curious. You know, as I was talking to some teachers, I went to one school in Mamelodi and I talked to teachers. And the teachers, one of the points that, no, the problem we have with our learners is that once you give them a problem solving, a problem to solve, the learner said that the teacher did not teach me this. But who's at fault? Is it the learner or is it the teacher? How we teach learners is very important. You know, that is very important, how we teach learners, how we want them to think. And it was a very simple, it was a great for learner, a very simple of odd and even numbers. They know odd and even numbers. But they were given a number 2022 multiplied by 2021. Is the answer going to be even or odd? Because they used to do 2 times 1 is odds, or is even, you know, something. The moment you put a bigger number, the teacher never thought about this. So we need to create this curiosity at an early age. And, you know, interest. To create problem-solving culture by providing problems that are grounded in real-life situations, which is another aspect which has been shown to improve the understanding and love of mathematics. Real-life problems. You know, learners will love to engage with this kind of problems. Problems such as those learned through non-routine mathematical problems will only increase in importance as we embrace the knowledge economy. Non-routine mathematics has been shown to be a especially important part of learning mathematics, which is not emphasized or given the necessary attention by South African education system. And teachers struggle with it. Therefore, teachers' training for primary level is very critical. You know, it is not given. If I remember on the curriculum, problem-solving skills or for teachers to when they teach is about 15% at FET. I'm not sure it's FET, but it's not beyond 15%. So we need to start giving the problem-solving skills much attention, and also do that at primary school level. In conclusion, it can be concluded that involving learners in competition, emphasizing non-ultimate curriculum, therefore, not only highly relevant to address the current key concerns of the education system, but will also equip primary school learners to fare better in mathematics in secondary level. We start at primary, and they're going to fare better at secondary level. Next slide, please. I think I've managed to cover whatever I wanted to say. You can go to the next slide. Thank you.